Welcome to Houston, Texas for the final group stage game in the Concacaf W Gold Cup. It's El Salvador and Paraguay coming up from Shell Energy Stadium. Alongside Carmen Boquin, I'm Maura Sheridan. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And we got a little chaos at the end here. It's going to come down to this game right now. But for Paraguay, in terms of focusing on this one, if they win or draw, they are into the quarterfinals.
Yes, and it's definitely gonna be the best end possible to this group stage, where throughout all the games we were really mentioning how important it was, the goal difference, the yellow cards coming to any situation that we possibly can be having one. Of course, still 90 minutes ahead of us, and both Paraguay and El Salvador know that they need to focus on themselves, try to get the best match possible, and see what could happen. Explain us a bit more, Mara.
All right, let's take a look at the group standings. Canada's in, so let's negate them. For Costa Rica, they are watching this game very closely because if Paraguay wins or there is a draw, then there is a coin toss to decide whether Costa Rica or Puerto Rico prevails to the quarterfinals. If El Salvador wins, then Paraguay is out, and there's a coin toss to decide whether Costa Rica and Puerto Rico, they'll be in, and the coin toss will be to decide the seeding, who's 7 and who's 8 in the quarterfinals.
Well, that couldn't be any more exciting. So as of now, what we can do is just focus on the game. And in the conversations preview of the game, it was clear that for El Salvador, they know about the goal differential. They're trying to see if they can get a win. It's really important. They're facing Paraguay, which is a team that, quote unquote, can be accessible for El Salvador. They came in here as 4th in Copa America. Didn't make it to the World Cup because they lost 2-0 against Panama. So it's really important for them to see if they can do something different. And Eric Acuña, coach for El Salvador, mentioned that as of now, El Salvador hasn't been able to play the formation they want, the one that they feel comfortable. So we'll see if they can make any switches and twitches to that lineup, and something can happen for La Selecta.
Both teams proceeding onto the pitch. We will pause for national anthems from both countries, Paraguay and El Salvador.
Anthem of Paraguay. Por favor, ponerse de pie para el himno nacional de Paraguay.
Alienta, donde reina unión e igualdad. Ni opresores ni servos alienta, donde reina unión e igualdad. Unión e igualdad, unión e igualdad. ¡Dale! ¡Vamos! ¡Vamos, carajo!
Please remain standing for the national anthem of El Salvador. Por favor, permanecer de pie para el himno nacional de El Salvador.
Saludemos la patria
just heard national anthems from both El Salvador and Paraguay as we get ready for the final group stage match within this group and also within Concacaf W Gold Cup play. We'll take a look at the starting 11s for both Paraguay and El Salvador. This is actually the first ever meeting between these two countries on a senior national team level.
I think Paraguay, one of the key things is going to be Bobadilla there as the goalkeeper. She had one important save in the first match against Costa Rica. And then Rizzo and Fretes, both defenders, they have played, Mara, all 180 minutes throughout this competition. They have been really good doing their job, aside from that game against Canada, which was quite impossible to do something different. But this is the team that Paraguay is bringing out today, trying to be as offensive as possible and see if they can get the win and be sure that they move us to the next round.
Paraguay started this tournament with a 1-0 victory over Costa Rica, then followed up with a 4-0 loss to Canada. So looking for the victory today. Karen Hernandez is our center referee. Out of Mexico, Sandra Ramirez, Jessica Morales, and Priscilla Perez are our other 3 referees and officials as well. See the captains meeting for El Salvador and Paraguay. Brenda Soren, Veronica Riveros. Soren for El Salvador is going to prove to be very crucial offensively, I think, for this side. As we take a look at our VAR room, Diana Perez, Francia Gonzalez.
You were talking about Seren. She scored 5 goals in the road to this W Gold Cup. She scored 3 goals, a hat-trick, and was the MVP in the match against Guatemala, moving them from the prelims, but wasn't able to score in the first and second game of this group stage. So that is one of the key things. So in that game 1 and game 2, Eric Acuña came out with the same starting lineup, but today he brings 4 changes. Out Ortiz, Fuentes, Sanchez, and Dominguez, and in for Marineros, which is also debuting in the tournament, Delgado, Recinos, and Gomez, with this 4-4-2 formation that Eric Acuña is bringing up today, trying to showcase the best that they have to put out there and see if they can score goals and make it out of the group stage.
El Salvador looking to spoil the fun here for Paraguay and perhaps other teams throughout, but started off on a really poor note. Lost 6-0 to Canada, who frankly ran through this group. We just saw Canada pull off a 3-0 victory over Costa Rica, handled them easily, and then El Salvador followed up with a 2-0 loss to Costa Rica. Now, Costa Rica only had 4 shots in that game, but finished 2 of them. El Salvador was able to manage 3. Paraguay in red, white, and blue kits, the blue shorts. El Salvador in white. Bobadilla mentioned her in net for Paraguay. Serrano in net for El Salvador. And the countdown begins here in Houston, Texas. It will be Paraguay to start with possession, and we are underway. Shell Energy Stadium, Carmen Boquin, Maura Sheridan, thank you so much for joining us. Already a foul in this one. It's going to go against Paraguay as Plata draws. Hernandez on a free kick for El Salvador. Country that won bronze in the Central American and Caribbean Games in 2023. This one put into the box. Here's an opportunity. Shot put on, and it's just above the crossbar. That's a good look already for Gomez and El Salvador.
So not even 1 minute, and we already know what is the mind game El Salvador wants to put in this game against Paraguay. Try to see if they can score goals and see what can happen going to the quarterfinals, and maybe leaving also this group stage, why not, with the best game possible so far.
Well, El Salvador took the hard route to get here, had to win a game in the prelims, took down Guatemala. Final score was 3-1, mentioned Seren and her hat trick in there. But Gomez, who we just saw take the shot, ended up getting a red card in the first half, and so they won that game down a player for 45 minutes plus. Gomez had 4 goals on the road to the Gold Cup and was a big piece missing too in that first game against Canada. El Salvador wants to work quickly. Here's Seren. And it's poked away. Riso for Paraguay. Battled out through the midfield for both sides. Gomez. Another foul. And another free kick for El Salvador. We're actually going to see a card against Paraguay very early in this match. And that's something to keep an eye out for.
Daisy Barreiro receiving that first yellow card of the match after stepping in the foot of Samaria Gomez. This is really early conditioning. A player in the defense to get that yellow card can change a lot of things for Paraguay.
Wouldn't be surprised if El Salvador chooses to kind of go after her too on that back line now. This one served up and it's punched out. Bobadilla already seeing some action early.
She had one important save in the first match, the one against Costa Rica, and then it was Recalde who started in the lineup for Paraguay against Canada. She had 8 saves, still received 4.
Erica Cuna, head coach for El Salvador. Again, one League B, Group B in order to get here, to get to the prelims. And there's still a chance that a team that won their preliminary game in Puerto Rico could make it to the quarterfinals. We're waiting to see.
That is incredible, because that tells you the big of the growth, because we've never expected both teams that made it to the prelims be able to secure a spot in the quarterfinal. It's going to be either 1, 2. That's a lot of information as of now.
Well, there's a world in which El Salvador makes it, but it's so many goals we won't talk about it until we're there or close to there. Push far side. Here's an opportunity for Paraguay. Carlos Bona for Paraguay. Oh, if this team makes it, then all 4 CONMEBOL invitees will get to go to the quarterfinals. Pretty impressive. This one served up. Here's a header, and it's just over the crossbar. Boy, a good look there for Jessica Martinez.
It was a fast play, well done by Paraguay, and then that header from Jessica Martinez ends up going over the goal.
It feels like we're already seeing more shots in that Canada-Costa Rica game. Canada only mustered up 4 shots, and they scored on 3 of them.
The game out of necessity. They both want to win.
Very physical play. And a whistle. Paraguay on a free kick.
It's Dulce Quintana on the floor. Juana Plata, she was so physical throughout the 3 matches she has played so far. She started in the 3 games. Oof, that was physical.
Off the free kick. Cleared out for El Salvador. Possession for Paraguay. But as I say that, it ends up back with El Salvador. Riveros, the captain today, just knocks it out. Seren wants to move. Throw into Gomez. Nudged away for Paraguay, looking to counter. Chamorro is the answer on this, and she breaks free, sprinting to it. Chamorro off the touch, puts it across, it's behind everyone. But her on those counters is very dangerous for Paraguay.
Are we gonna get a box-to-box game? It seems so as of now. I think the key for El Salvador is to give balls as fast as possible to Brenda Seren and see what magical thing she can do. And then it's clear that Chamorro is gonna be really the one carrying the best attack for Paraguay.
Scored the game winner against Costa Rica. That is the only goal for Paraguay in the Gold Cup so far. Quintana filling up for Paraguay. Chamorro launches herself and gets fouled. And another card. Well, that's gonna go against Marinero for El Salvador. So one for each side very early in this match. Well, that was actually Fernandez.
No, Marineros.
No, the one that got fouled.
Oh, yeah. And two players that are going to be physically asked a lot, you know, playing and trying to win those balls back and in defense at zones throughout the game. I think we're getting a really physical game.
Serrano gets everybody prepared for El Salvador. Martinez is up on a free kick. There's that wall for El Salvador. This Martinez will take herself, and that sails over the crossbar. Not the power from distance for Jessica Martinez. Serrano and company working out from the back for El Salvador, and there's that pressure. Godoy settles for Paraguay. Well, the last 3 wins for Paraguay as a senior national team have come against Concacaf teams. Morales switching the point of attack for El Salvador. Namea. And Paraguay will just watch it roll for a goal kick. Hernandez pushes it forward, trying to break free, tackled away. Recinos still wide for El Salvador, and the cross is denied. Bobadilla covers.
Acuña was talking about the play and the game that they wanted throughout the match, and this is it. It's going to be really interesting to see a good effort coming from this left flank, and then that ball by Marinero almost being able to be connected by Gomez, but not enough because Bobadilla was there to catch that ball.
Well, it's been back and forth so far between Paraguay and El Salvador.
Physical for sure.
Yeah, Martinez just lowers the shoulder and earns possession now for Paraguay.
And no time to lose because both teams wants to win.
And you can tell they're playing urgently. Matez on the throw, pops over everyone. Chamorro was the target. And it slides past her. And there's a tackle. As Plata's gonna get whistled for one.
and gets
Another card.
So Karen Hernandez is no warning, no anything, just
Not
going
playing
directly
around.
to the cards.
Oh, quite late there from Plata. So 2 players with cards for El Salvador.
And 2 important players in that left flank of attack for Paraguay, which is Plata and Marinero.
And if you're Acuna, you're going to have to think about eventually subbing these players out earlier than you probably would have expected, or if you were going to sub them out at all.
Because you don't want to lose another player and
Yeah.
ended up playing more than 40 minutes with 1 less player on the field.
Quintana and Martinez on the free kick. This Ramona Martinez for Paraguay. Quintana headed towards that back post. There's a header down, and it's covered. Serrano corrals it in. Tomorrow, again, the target often on those set pieces as well. Quintana through the middle. Blazes that one. Fernandez streaking up that left flank. Beats a defender. Fernandez takes a shot. It hits the side of the netting. Offside was a call anyway.
Yes, but the effort, again, we talked about that left flank. It's going to be complicated over there for El Salvador, having 2 players already with a yellow card. And Rebecca Fernandez is going to move either flank to see what damage she can create against El Salvador.
It appears there's a VAR review. Now, nothing stood out to me in that moment. But obviously, Fernandez was in the area, so it could be for a penalty.
Yeah, it's a possible handball, what's being checked. And she decided that she's gonna better take a good look at it.
So it will be a full review to decide if it is a handball in the box on this. So obviously checking to see if there's a penalty. On the header.
Well, it comes from that header, and then apparently oh, this is gonna be the better shot. She's moving her arms against her chest to try to protect it. I would say she's jumping and you need to use your arm, and they're not opening and taking any space, which it's really most of an appreciation, because when she's running, when she's jumping, she's still jumping and folding her arms to try to put them against her chest.
It's about as natural as a position as you can get when you are jumping.
For sure. Or other thing would be jumping with your arms extended
Yes.
and occupying more space. But hey, that's a lot of her interpretation. And since there's so many gray areas in what a hand is or in what it's not.
So they're zooming on
There it
this,
is.
and it definitely hits her hand. I think
Yes.
there's no debate about that.
She'll debate the intention.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a decision taken by Karen Hernandez. And things can change next week for all the ruling. So it's going to be interesting what's happening next week.
Well, this is a big moment, because if it is a handball, then it's a penalty that Paraguay gets to benefit off of. A long review, and it's a tough decision because it comes out of the nitty-gritty.
But it seems as soon as she sees the ball, it's coming, she just, let's see.
Penalty. Tough break for El Salvador.
Can you blame her? No. Like,
It hit a hand.
it hit her hand. and she saw it repeatedly. And we can only call and give her opinion about it. You can see when she's like trying to put her hands against her chest, but not enough for her to disallow it. So Karen Hernandez set for a PK.
Jessica Martinez will take this for Paraguay. Serrano in net, looking to be the hero. Martinez hesitates, tucks it in the corner. Paraguay leads.
And a well-taken pen for Martinez. And nothing to question about Idalia. She threw herself to the right side. Oh, just by a little bit, without being able to just deflect that ball. It was a good call from her. Oh, she even touched it. This changes everything for the game, and of course Paraguay having more confidence to keep doing more attacking plays, scoring their second goal for the tournament.
Well, Paraguay knows that to simplify everything, if they win, they are into the quarterfinals, and so that's the focus right now. And
you know who's celebrating right now? Puerto Rico,
Puerto
Costa
Rico,
Rica.
yeah. Well, we got a player that just got hit for El Salvador. Right in the face. That's Samantha Fischer. Chamorro speeds forward and forces a little tap out. We'll see if that penalty going Paraguay's way and the finish from Martinez changes the dynamic of this match, if Paraguay can add to its lead. Chamorro strong in the box, but a light cross. El Salvador plays it long. Here's an opportunity. Gomez doesn't have numbers. El Salvador on the attack. And now they'll look to possess. Switching it to that left flank. And it's over Plata's head. Bobadilla just sends it out. Stays in the attacking third for El Salvador. From Plata, and the keeper has it squared.
Maybe we're gonna keep seeing El Salvador just trying to reach as close as possible to that attacking third or getting chances from a distance. Pressure is on now for El Salvador.
El Salvador really playing for pride right now.
Yes.
And looking for goal number 1 too, and that would be a step in the right direction.
Like you mentioned, it's a -9 difference as of now, even if El Salvador gets a win. But pride, that's non-negotiable.
Chamorro off her heel. Has to shuffle back. Up the pitch, now in the midfield. Quintana. Swings it to this right side. Nice tackle. Paraguay wants a call, and there is an offside call. Marinero with that tackle. Looked clean.
No, and that tells you the desperation also by Paraguay just to trying to score, that are missing and allowing mistakes like an offside, which is just part of not being fully focused on what's happening.
Here's a cross. Heavy touch. Seren looking to fire. Dumps it off. There's a shot, and it's way high for El Salvador.
But I like Seren's attitude, just giving a clap for Gomez, just trying to see what way they can possibly score a goal and get that big opportunity of showcasing how El Salvador has had this growth throughout the group stage, from allowing 6 goals to only 2 against Costa Rica. Not a bad game for Las Salvadoreñas.
I do like the Gomez-Seren combo for El Salvador. Something to build on. Barreo. Godoy. Possessed in the midfield now. Paraguay. Corner's on the way. Barreo with that opportunity, and again, a lot of damage up the flanks for Paraguay.
But the most damage has come from this left flank, where they're getting this corner kick, and the building up of the whole play from Paraguay, just coming from the back, moving forward, has been really interesting to see, because I don't think we got that good of a glimpse in the game against Costa Rica or Canada.
Quintana on the corner. Has a go-ahead. Near post, looking for a header, and it bounces wide. Martinez to Martinez. Ramona to Jessica. Chamorro, right wing. Takes a shot herself, and that's batted down by Serrano.
And there is a third one, Fiorella. She's on the bench.
Yes. It's going to be difficult if all 3 are in.
Not related, by the way. We did have set of twins in Puerto Rico and Panama.
Here comes El Salvador. Marinero takes a shot herself, and it's just off.
Testing the water so far, and now Marinero's trying again from that mid-distance shot. She had a player. Recinos was there.
Well, we're over 25 minutes in. Jessica Martinez was able to knock home a PK in the 18th minute to give Paraguay the lead on a handball.
By
Lengthy VAR review to decide that. Off the turn, Martinez up to Chamorro in the 18. Serrano shuffling back off her left foot, looking across. Not totally cleared for El Salvador. Chamorro. Corner.
Clever by Chamorro, just bouncing that ball against Plata, forcing it for another corner kick.
Quintana again. Last time they went near post. From Quintana. Middle of the box and no one there.
Good pointing that out. Tells you a bit of the game plan that they could have coming to the next corners.
Fernandez loses a defender, trying to lose another. Quintana heads it down in the 18, and it's booted all the way back to the midfield. Paraguay will possess now. Ramona Martinez. Forced backwards, Bobadilla. Skies. Chamorro waits on it. Has some runners in the box, but she's just gonna run in herself. And she's blocked again on a cross, but again, it results in a corner.
Chamorro is clear with that idea, finding momentum with another set piece. And like you mentioned, last one was to the middle, and the prior to the near post. Considering Idalia's height, maybe they can be going for something high.
Quintana. Middle again. And again, nothing there. Off the rebound, looking for a second ball, it's Quintana. Serves this one up. This one, no shot, but boy, it looked like Riveros was gonna have a chance to turn and fire.
Yeah, quite a mistake defensively over there. One of the first one I've seen from El Salvador, not being able to deflect that ball or take more control of it. And since Paraguay wasn't that on point to do something or get the grab of the ball.
Offside is a call anyway.
Yes.
Well, we've seen 4 shots for Paraguay and 3 for El Salvador. That already matches the total in the last game that El Salvador played against Costa Rica. 7 shots total in that game combined between the two teams, and what was a 2-0 loss for El Salvador. Ramona Martinez picks up the pace and gives it away. Quintana. Well, that's gonna roll all the way down into El Salvador's end. Off of Fischer, who plays for the Chicago Red Stars in the NWSL, Samantha Fischer. One of the attackers for this El Salvador team. Serrano all the way almost into her own net. Picks that one up. "15 minutes to go in the first half. Plata makes a defender miss. That's blocked down for Paraguay. Pressure coming from Seren. Plata, long service, almost a one-time in, so close. Rosinos was ready.
That was a great opportunity, and the momentum, building it from the back, a great ball to the box, and then Rosinos failing in that one to be able to connect that ball. We're gonna see it again. Oh, what a chance El Salvador just missed.
That would have been a volley, and if that had gone in, maybe the best goal of the group stage. Quarterfinals are not till Saturday and Sunday. So this weekend, whoever makes it out of this group is going to have to travel a little bit, though, to California. That's where they're being held. And the rest of the knockout stage as well. Foul against El Salvador. Fernandez draws and then walks it off.
And with this result, Mara, it would be Canada and Paraguay. Canada already moving to quarterfinals, and Paraguay. And then Costa Rica and Puerto Rico tied in every single aspect. The -2 goal differential. And yellow cards. And we're going to see who of those two teams make it out to the quarterfinals if this result stays in place.
It would be a coin toss after this match to decide. Just an FYI. Martinez runs into Plata. Marinero, excuse me, for El Salvador. Ramona Martinez, mishit there for Paraguay. Retes. Martinez, Chamorro. Looking for a service, back to Chamorro instead. Heel pass, nice run. Cross in, and unable to get to Martinez. Not the tallest on the pitch, and that one almost, I think, offside anyway for Fernandez and company.
And again, everything is being done by Paraguay in the left flank. Feels like El Salvador need to cover that flank a bit more and not allow them to get over so fast to that attacking third. Or Paraguay just keep doing it.
Yeah, Barreo has been really involved on that left side for Paraguay.
Just gaining every ball and being fast enough to move it.
Ramona Martinez was calling for it. Instead, strong tackles here for El Salvador. Gomez. With the possession. Working up the pitch. And not on the same page.
That was Morales. That just working from automatic movements, trying to put that ball into space, but there was nobody to get closer to it.
Bona looking on for Paraguay. It's a very slight lead, and El Salvador's had a couple of chances to get the equalizer. Certainly Paraguay hoping for another goal heading into the break. And now they'll have to defend against El Salvador. Barreo stops the attack.
This could be the second win, but again, more goals to give more confidence coming into the quarterfinals.
From Morales, wide with it. Play on. Cross, and Bobadilla bobbles, covers. Gomez was lingering. Rosinos pushes it to the flank, now centered. And it hops over everyone. And Gomez trying to make a run into the 18 for El Salvador. Here's an opportunity for El Salvador. Seren. Gomez shoots, and it's too high.
This is the attack that El Salvador is capable of doing. A right flank, a big run, and Seren just putting that ball, sending it over the goal. Not enough for Gomez to send it on target. A great shot, though.
Really nice feed from Seren. And just a little bit overshot from Gomez.
She's a fantastic player.
Oh, she's definitely the fastest player on the pitch and gives defenses fits.
And she's everywhere.
Really, truly. Free kick for Paraguay.
Is she hurt again? First the nose and now the lip, right?
Yeah, Fischer's been banged up for sure. Off the free kick from distance, still makes its way into the 18. Riveros was collapsing in, but the keeper, Serrano, rolls it out quickly. Looking for a transition chance. Gets a good bounce for El Salvador, stretching for it. Is Seren. And it's going Paraguay's way. Stifled on that one. Well, fans looking on for El Salvador. That's a tight match so far. They still have a great chance.
There's been a great crowd throughout this group played in Houston. Gotta say it, I'm gonna miss the DJ.
Seren. Again, heavy touch. 5 minutes to go in the first half. The Martinez PK is still the difference between Paraguay and El Salvador.
It was one mistake made by Amaya with that handball, checking VAR and allowing Martinez to score that penalty kick.
For Marinero, Gomez is behind. Lifted in the midfield. Takes a couple hops, no clear possession yet. And you can see a foul. These two players go down, Martinez being one for Paraguay, but she was late. Yeah, just steps on Morales for El Salvador. Well, she sold it, but did not get the call her way. Off the service, chance for a header, and it's not strong enough. Bobadilla.
Yeah, and Coach Acuña was telling, look for Amber, which is Marinero, to see if she could get close and find herself without a mark because she hasn't been creating that much of a threat.
Well, I think Gomez was offside anyway. But really, since that penalty, El Salvador has responded pretty well. Some quality looks, and now it's just about finishing the job. See if they can carry that momentum into the break and see if anyone, either side, I'm sure there's going to be some adjustments when we come out of halftime.
It's a short result as of now, and it was defined by one mistake. If not, it'd still be 0-0.
Fischer gets up and appears to be all right. Turan, right wing. Chamorro's back to defend. Headed down from Gomez. Shot is blocked. Looking for a chance from distance, El Salvador. Not out of the woods yet, though, Paraguay. Fernandez. Ahead to Martinez. Serrano, the keeper. Redirects. Possession will be with Paraguay. From the free kick. Well, it's with El Salvador.
Yeah, and no time to lose. Really going and moving that ball as fast as possible.
Gomez. Seren nearly knocks it back to Gomez. Hangs up there and is finally out. Up the left flank on the throw-in. We'll do it again, just a couple of steps forward. Not really going anywhere with that pass for El Salvador. Nice little move. Crowd loves it. Kind of seemed like it was a meg. Hard to see from where we are.
But so it seemed.
Based on that reaction. Played long for El Salvador. Seren turns on the Jets, fires in a cross, and it's read nicely by the defense for Paraguay.
It has been a total merit from Paraguay, just not allowing El Salvador to be able to put that last pass, that last shot, or any way possible for them to score that goal.
Rosinos. Fischer. About 2 minutes left in the first half between Paraguay and El Salvador. First ever meeting between these two countries. Defense on skates. There's a shot lifted and it hits the top of the netting. Boy, it looked like that maybe would curl in for Marinero.
Marinero's just getting the chance in that one. Why not go directly to the goal? We have to see it again because she's in the run. Still gets the time to put that ball the best way possible. Great with her left leg. Just by a bit. Oh, I would have loved that goal.
That's the second time she's gone from distance. Pretty confident. Something to watch out for the remainder of this match. Fernandez gives it away. El Salvador. That's right back with Paraguay. Martinez slowed. That's a late tackle from Paraguay. And we saw a whole slew of cards before the 15th minute. We saw 3 cards, 2 for El Salvador, 1 for Paraguay, and we haven't seen one since.
It was Barreiro for Paraguay, Marinero and Plata for El Salvador.
Rosinos with her right foot on a service. Booted away. Chamorro muscles it. Now she picks up speed. El Salvador stands strong defensively. Flung up. Martinez all alone takes a shot, stopped by Serrano. Second chance in for Paraguay. Offside is a call. They're letting it play out with VAR.
How do we break this one down? Because it's a great ball for Jessica Martinez. And then in the 1v1, well done by Idalia, just being able to disallow her so much for that great shot. Still gets the rebound and scores the goal. But doesn't get into the scoreboard because of the offside. Lucky for El Salvador.
Well, that's going to end the first half. Paraguay up 1-0 on El Salvador. They need the win to move on to the quarterfinal. A win or a draw will do the trick for Paraguay. In a good spot right now. Jessica Martinez has the lone goal on a penalty.
I've enjoyed this first half, seeing what Paraguay has to offer and put there. Also, El Salvador, good moments of defense, attacking for both teams. Honestly, it's been only on favor of Paraguay because of that handball committed by Amaya, and then Jessica Martinez not failing to score against Idalia Serrano. So I think it's safe to say that we have another 45 minutes really exciting to be able to enjoy, and then the definition of the 8 teams that make it out to the quarterfinals.
Now this game has been really intense so far. Paraguay and El Salvador.
And the crowd, I've been loving the crowd too.
Yes.
They have so much to say throughout.
Here at Shell Energy Stadium, well, Canada and Costa Rica led things off tonight. 3-0 was the final. Canada, from the jump, was very much in control of this game. And while Paraguay is up right now, it feels like El Salvador has had some really good chances to equalize, and this feels fairly even considering what we saw in the earlier game.
Yeah, that is a word, fairly even for both, because it could have been for either team if not for that one mistake by Amaya.
I'll take a look at the stats in this match.
Talk about being even, right? 49 possession for Paraguay, 51 for El Salvador, and in total shots had been 4 and 6, but only 1 on target for El Salvador, but still is Paraguay on the scoreboard with that penalty kick.
Well, it was a long VAR review, and then it was decided it was a handball in the box. That's what led to the penalty for Jessica Martinez, and cool, calm, and collected, and was able to bury it when she stepped up to the spot.
And we're gonna see it in a few, but Idalia guesses where to fantastic kick by Jessica Martinez. One mistake by Amaya with that handball. And it's Paraguay winning 1-0. Told you about the DJ, right?
Yeah, the DJ's good.
He has us dancing. Yeah, it's been a great atmosphere coming from Houston throughout all the matches for this Group C in the Shell Energy Stadium. Energy for sure.
Absolutely, and this is the final game, and potentially the final game for both of these teams, and they don't want that to be the case, especially Paraguay, who, if they win or draw, will move on to the quarterfinal. Well, regardless of how this one plays out, I would urge everybody to stay tuned, because there will be a coin toss to make a decision in the Concacaf W Gold Cup.
There's one change for El Salvador. Fuentes stepping in.
Danielle Fuentes, 23 years old, will enter for El Salvador. Fernandez. Ramona Martinez. Marinero is off the pitch. She had that yellow card. Otherwise, I think she'd still be on, because she was pretty effective for El Salvador.
And she was even trying from a distance,
Yeah.
which was important also.
And Racino's also out. McKenna Dominguez is in for El Salvador.
So it's going back to two players that started in the previous 3 matches in this Gold Cup.
Well, both Fuentes and Dominguez played college soccer in the United States. For Fuentes, played at UMBC in South Alabama. Dominguez currently plays at University of North Carolina, which is a premier program in the United States.
Whereas Fuentes in Necaxa, Mexico.
We'll see if these changes can ignite anything for El Salvador, looking to score its first goal in Concacaf W Gold Cup play. This is the first iteration of the Gold Cup on the women's side, so we're seeing a lot of history being made. Fuentes on the left flank, swerves towards the middle and moves to the right. Amaya, dispossessed. Chamorro, picking up some steam. Finally shoved away from it. Seren surveys, and too high on the hop for El Salvador. Gomez, back turned. Missed. The defense could be a crucial miss. And it's tackled away. Just too much time to shoot there for Dominguez on the El Salvador side.
And without any angle to try to share that ball with Seren.
Here's Dominguez again, stretching for it. Instead, it's Paraguay looking to counter. Quintana. No one there to help out. Amaya Plays it long. It's headed away by Riveros for Paraguay. Seren. Obviously Paraguay very cautious of Seren. Whenever she has possession. Nice job by Fischer to keep that with El Salvador. Martinez keeps it with Paraguay. No subs yet for Paraguay.
No. I'm guessing Bona is happy with what he's seen so far of his 11 players on the field. They're winning the game, putting them with 6 points if this result keeps like this towards the end of the match. And with good stages of the first half showing what Paraguay is really capable of doing.
Martinez tackles, gets it back for Paraguay. On the move now in the attacking third. Martinez. And it's given away. Nice little move. Fernandez, Chamorro, and Serrano, the keeper, is the first to get there.
The pressing that Chamorro does whenever she's in that attacking third is always really important for Paraguay.
Dominguez, full speed ahead. Riveros gets organized defensively, so does Paraguay. Otherwise, that was a breakaway. Fischer puts it back in the 18. Ends up wide with Dominguez. And she runs out of space.
Too long, impossible for Dominguez to end up getting the ball and seeing if she could have kept the ball in play.
Bobadilla. Oh, we know that Canada has won this group, and we're still trying to figure out where everybody else lands. Second, third, fourth. Those that finished first and second automatically in. And then, as it worked out here in the Gold Cup, the two best third place teams also will move on to the quarterfinals. And that's why we will get into that potential coin toss happening with Costa Rica and Puerto Rico. And that's if this 1-0 score or a win for Paraguay stands. Still a lot of football to be played, and just the way El Salvador has been, creating some good offensive looks. It seems like, right now they have more of the juice, but we've seen this Paraguay team not have a lot of possession and still beat Costa Rica.
Yeah, in that one, it was quite a game similar to this one, not being able to control it at all terms, but then finding that opportunity from a set piece, a free kick, and Chamorro scored the first one. Something similar happened in this one, but it's part of the game, just being able to attract those big chances and not fail against the goal. So that's a good thing from Paraguay also, to be able to respond.
Gomez. That's a necessary touch from Paraguay. going the opposite way. I'm not sure if the flag went up or if it actually went off on Gomez.
For coming from the crowd. Yeah, did she? Well, we couldn't see it, but the crowd let us know.
Disagreed, certainly. Off the swing, left flank, and Fuentes meant to bring that in. Instead, it's heavy.
Just coming into the quarterfinals, Paraguay will need to step up a little bit more their game plan and see to be more offensive and finding those big chances against the goalkeeper that we haven't seen so far in neither of the Paraguay games.
Here comes El Salvador. That one intercepted key because Seren was streaking up the middle. Well, safe to say that the crowd is definitely on El Salvador's side. It's been that way in every match that they've played here in Houston.
They have big fans over there.
The first game in particular against Canada was very crowded in the lower bowl and just all a sea of blue and white.
Yeah, and the one against Costa Rica, it was big support from the fan base in Houston for El Salvador.
Dominguez was looking to make some noise and sneak in. El Salvador again still with possession. That one off Fernandez for Paraguay. Amaya and company move quickly. Fuentes. Play on, says Hernandez, our center referee. Ends up with Fischer. Takes a shot herself, and it's off.
And it was another great chance by the middle with a good ball, a long ball like Acuna mentioned. He told his player, largo, long. They're doing exactly what he's telling them, just trying to put those balls in the middle and finding themselves in a better position for a goal. Well saved there, but then called a foul.
So, because of two perceived missed calls, both teams were upset.
Yeah, and Bobadilla was not so happy
No,
by
she was
just
not.
being herself. Nobody was there to help her in the mark.
Pass Dominguez. Still the same amount of shots, 10 combined since the halftime break.
Because the big struggle has been in the midfield, just trying to break any of the lines. And the big effort has been there.
Martinez skying in, looking for a header, but she fouls, goes over the back of the defender for El Salvador. And that defender, Amaya, is slow to get up.
But she took it well and got up really fast to keep moving the ball.
More physical play. And another card, this time for Gomez. Late on that tackle for El Salvador. And that's the third yellow card given out to El Salvador.
Yeah, Marinero is not on the field anymore. She was benched. But Samaria, Gomez, and Juana Plata, they still have minutes on the field with that yellow card. That could be dangerous.
Very dangerous for El Salvador, who's searching for a comeback. Well, there was a stretch in that first half where Paraguay was really attacking El Salvador on the flanks. Barreo, who's slow to get up here, was the main culprit, and we haven't seen any of that in the second.
She has a yellow card also, by the way. You mentioned how you liked Samaria Gomez playing with Brenda Seren. Amaria only was subbed in the last match for that second half, and I'm guessing Acuna liked a lot what she did, that decided to just give her the opportunity to start in this game. She's only 20 years old, and definitely her connection with Seren has been really good to watch.
Good away for Paraguay. Fernandez stumbles, might have hit her hand in the process, and plays on. El Salvador denied on that counter chance. Half an hour roughly to go in this one, Paraguay and El Salvador. Gomez did not have help. Fischer bumps through. Martinez edged out. Delgado, strong. Chamorro fires in across. Martinez tight to her body. Can she get a shot off? And it's a very, very light one.
Really light could be the description of that shot, but at least getting closer for Paraguay, because it has been only El Salvador in the last minutes.
Seren looks to power through. Fuentes chips it over the top. Dominguez gives it chase. Runs out of area.
Yeah, Dominguez in another big run, just trying to be able to get that ball not to go in that back line, but just quite impossible to control it.
Fernandez off her body. Well, is looking to slot it forward to Martinez. Fernandez again possesses for Paraguay, much better. Finally on the ball. Martinez being pushed around, keeps on going. Quintana thought about it from distance. Now she takes a shot, and Serrano is off her line, but that was off the mark too.
Goes off. Why? But Quintana, why not? Just trying to see if they can keep putting those balls. Maybe a bit of a surprise for Idalia Serrano, but not too much danger in this one.
Here comes El Salvador again. Amaya. Slowed a little. Dominguez with her left foot. In the middle, trip. Good spot for a free kick coming.
And Brenda Saren is going directly to get that ball and see what she can do. It's a good spot for a free kick.
Saren was urgent to it. We have a player down for Paraguay. Let's see. Bates just slammed off her body. And there's a look at that trip. It's Fernandez who commits. Tess is taking a while to get off and training staff is out. That's one less person on for Paraguay to defend this now. Fischer, Seren discussing
how to take that free kick, a good set piece opportunity. And it's gonna be Seren.
She's straight away, virtually.
She went directly for the ball. It was clear it was gonna be.
Yes. Had that look in her eyes. Hesitates. Now does it. Very physical play, and it's a penalty in the area.
And not only it's awarded with one of the best chances for El Salvador, but I think Samaria and Brenda, they were clearing where she was going to put that ball, see if she could connect it with the header, but then the mistake made by Barreiro, just putting her body over Gomez and pulling her down, disallowing her to be able to keep that attack.
Yeah, just the hanging on Gomez.
That's it.
It's gonna get you called for it almost every time, and that was a good chip there for El Salvador. Seren and Gomez, as you said, looking to combine. Instead, here's a chance. El Salvador can level the score.
From the crowd, they're asking for a red card. We've seen throughout the tournament you can show a yellow card or change it if you must, but Barreiro already has a card, and I'm guessing Karen Hernandez is not showing anything.
Samantha Fischer sets up. Bobadilla is in net for Paraguay. El Salvador looking to score its first goal of the Gold Cup. Fischer, saved by Bobadilla, second chance, Fischer, yes! The equalizer for El Salvador. The second time is the charm.
And with just a little bit of drama, the equalizer for El Salvador after a free kick by Seren, well forced near the box. A fall from Barreiro over Gomez and Fischer. Samantha Fischer just taking that shot. Gotta say, Bobadilla really good over there with that saved. But then in the rebound, Fischer doesn't fail to score and sends it to the back of the net.
Well, all love for El Salvador. Samantha Fischer, again, did not score in the first two games against Canada and Costa Rica. Finally, a goal for El Salvador.
Because the one in the prelims, they don't count towards the
yes
numbers or history for the Gold Cup where Seren scored a hat-trick. But this is officially the first goal for El Salvador in the Gold Cup.
All right, for Paraguay, now all of a sudden you're thinking about what happens if we lose this game? Because again, a draw pushes them through, but a loss.
What changes is their position, right? Or is it the same? Because they're right now they'll be 4 points -3, and Argentina is 4 points -1.
Martinez skies that over the crossbar.
So that puts Argentina on top of Paraguay. Because Argentina is 4 points -1. And Paraguay is -3 with 4 points. That'd be interesting.
"20 minutes ago, Paraguay, El Salvador. Martinez, urgent. She gets knocked, and there's no whistle. I think she sold that a little too much.
Or not clever enough, right?
As I said, 4 points enough to push Paraguay into the quarterfinal. They were just reviewing that to see if it was potentially a penalty. It was at the edge of the box, perhaps a step inside. El Salvador, eager. Well, now Seren and company can smell blood in the water. Fuentes tumbles down, no call. Oh, we'll see what Paraguay does. Served up. There's an opportunity. Loss. Fernandez dishes it off. Here's Martinez, takes a shot, and it's saved by Serrano. Was able to get back into position just in time.
Serrano just perfect again with another save, just being that important player, trying to keep avoiding Paraguay to score another one. The coin has flipped a little bit, and now it's Paraguay being really incisive, trying to get another goal.
Dominguez. Well, things have gotten progressively more physical since El Salvador scored. Godoy is down on the ground in some pain.
Just showing how important it is to both teams to end up winning this match. Aside from El Salvador not being able to make it through the quarterfinals, but still, like you mentioned at the beginning, just trying to exit the tournament with their face held up high and really proud after coming from the prelims and maybe possibly doing something against Paraguay.
No, Puerto Rico had a good run within its group, picking up a win against Panama, but Dominican Republic, the other team that played in the prelims, did not pick up a point. And really the only thing that kind of separates El Salvador from Puerto Rico is just that big first game in which they gave up 6 goals. Otherwise, they would also be in the mix to make it to the next round. But the goal difference seems like a little too much to get in 15 minutes.
But the effort was there.
This is a good game.
And I think it proved Paraguay to be the team that made Paraguay play their most attacking formation for sure, and just trying to go out there and not be that passive like they were in the game against Costa Rica.
Bobadilla waits on it.
And if Paraguay scores another goal or 2 more goals, they could face Mexico. If it stays like this, it's gonna be Brazil.
Of course, they're used to Brazil.
Not with good numbers for Paraguay against Brazil.
Dominguez too far out in front of her. But for Paraguay, it's an interesting moment right now. They just need to protect this score. Obviously, they want to get 3 points and all of that. And of course, the ultimate goal would be to win this game, but just protecting this score means that they're through. And that's what matters, because a loss and you are done. Bobadilla, no rush.
And the crowd is letting her know.
Bona wants a call. Martinez, just a little aftermath, trying to get some revenge for that last moment. Well, El Salvador has done a good job of kind of getting in Paraguay's head a little bit.
That is part of the game.
And I think Paraguay walks into this game, they're the ones that walk in with pressure. They're the ones that have to win or draw. They're the ones that are favored to win. And we've seen El Salvador play very loosely. 2 penalties in this game, 1 for each side. And that's how we have the score we have. Of course, it was Martinez who struck first in the 18th minute for Paraguay, and Samantha Fischer retaliates in the 69th minute for El Salvador.
And taking her time again.
No, it's part of the game. Looking to drain some clock. Martinez, Hernandez. Jessica Martinez now, left wing. 1v1, gets past the defender in Amaya, keeps on going into the box, and she tumbles down. It's a, it's a goal kick. So the direction in which we just saw our center official, Karen Hernandez, put her hand looked like she was pointing to the spot. She was not, and that was so
For 1 second, everybody got confused.
Everyone lost their mind for 1 second.
It's windy.
It's a cooler night in Houston. Dominguez, Amaya. Possessed now for El Salvador. Martinez shoved down. There's still a battle outside the lines between her and Morales for El Salvador. Martinez has been warned a couple times, and that might be her final one from Karen Hernandez.
If I were Bona, I would not allow her to be playing that risky. You're moving to quarterfinals. You don't want to lose a player.
Right, appreciate the fire, but at this point, 10 minutes.
It can be more damaging for Paraguay in the long run.
Jacqueline Velasquez is in for El Salvador. Gomez out. Chamorro. Fischer losing defenders. Seren punches it forward to Velasquez, who just entered, and it spins out of play.
Yeah, that is another one for El Salvador to take in consideration coming the next games. Whenever they put those balls either to the left or right flank, they're literally all have been just way too long and impossible for the player coming to get them to be able to do so. It's part of the excitement of the moment and the fast pace.
Plata again makes the defender miss. Maybe seeing some tired legs for Paraguay and El Salvador. This is a tough stretch, the group stage, and asking a lot of these players quick turnarounds, all of these matches. This is a good chance. Seren dishes up. Fuentes into the area. Makes a man miss. Takes a shot. Yes! El Salvador leads 2 unanswered.
Well, you gotta agree that if you don't score the goals, they're gonna score them to you. And that's what happened to Paraguay. They failed a few chances they had. What a good side by Seren, just putting that ball there. And Fuentes not doubting herself for a second with a defense in front and going to the near post where Bobadilla is, just to score that with the perfect angle for the second goal.
Well, Fuentes was a second half sub and a key one for El Salvador. Like you said, tough angle
between the goalkeeper and the near post. Checking VAR just to make sure everything fine. Nope.
It's gonna stand, and you said it. Paraguay leaving the door open for this El Salvador comeback, and now desperation sets in for Paraguay. They need to get an equalizer, or they are out and going home in the Gold Cup.
And nothing changes for Paraguay, by the way. They still make it through the quarterfinal, but what does changes is who they're gonna be facing. Or no, it also stays the same then.
Seren. Offside is the call.
I think it changes who they'll be facing, because Paraguay would be staying with 3 points and -4, whereas Puerto Rico and Costa Rica is -2.
Well, Paraguay would be out if they lose. If Paraguay loses, they are out of the tournament.
You are totally right. So it's I'm sorry, I got so excited.
Here's an opportunity, though, and that is a physical play.
And Costa Rica makes it out.
Fernandez is down. Of course, we saw Serrano just sprint out the keeper and looked like a motion for a penalty. All right, so everything's swinging in this game. Serrano had no choice. And she just trips Fernandez, clear as day. All right, this is huge. Martinez, the second penalty she's taken today. This is potentially to send Paraguay to the quarterfinals here in Concacaf W Gold Cup. Martinez, heroic!
What last 10 minutes? Never thought that these last 10 minutes were gonna be this exciting, with El Salvador being able to score that second goal, and then this mistake by Idalia, had no choice, and Martinez not failing to score. Now we go back to where things were, with Paraguay still making it out to the quarterfinals.
I hesitate to say, though, that this is set in stone based on what we've seen from these last minutes. So just a recap here. Fuentes scored. Really good play for El Salvador. And after 2 unanswered, they take the lead in the 83rd minute. A couple minutes later, Serrano's left alone, and she dives, misses, gets Fernandez. And of course, we have a penalty that Martinez is able to hit. So that's her second penalty, a brace for Martinez from the spot. And it makes it 2-2. And as we said, this draw would push Paraguay forward. But now it's just turning into, you know, a tackle fest for both these teams. All right, change Barbosa in for Paraguay. Fernandez, who just took that knock, is going to exit. Martinez turns on the Jets, looking to earn it back for Paraguay. And they need to be conservative here.
Yeah, you're pushing it 2 minutes per stoppage. Don't want to risk it again.
El Salvador really close to playing spoiler. Well, 1 goal in that first half, 3 in the second. Paraguay, El Salvador Houston, Texas. What a way for the group stage to end. Concacaf W Gold Cup play. Paraguay. Over the top. And too far ahead of Velasquez, the sub. Bobadilla waits to finally pick it up. And we're going to get quite a bit of stoppage time here.
Well, we had a goal and a penalty kick in 3. Anything can happen in 6 minutes that we're getting.
El Salvador is going to make another sub. Karen Reyes in, Brenda Soren's out. 6 minutes of stoppage time, as we mentioned. Chamorro serves it up, header, wow! Martinez, the hat trick! And that will do it.
Well, we said anything could happen in this last minutes. It was 3 for a great turnaround. Well done by El Salvador, but better by Paraguay. They knew they needed this game to get that confidence looking into the quarterfinals. What a great cross, and then a header by Martinez. Doesn't fail in this one, and hat trick for Martinez.
Well, that's exactly what Paraguay needed to seal the deal. Martinez. With the celebration for Paraguay, absolutely pumped up. It looked very dicey for Paraguay. Again, got down 2-1, and now they've stormed back with 2 unanswered. And we still got some time, but I think it's safe to say Paraguay is moving on to the quarterfinals. Well, both of these teams, Paraguay scored just the 1 goal heading into this match, and as it relates to just pure Gold Cup games, no goals for El Salvador, and yet we have a high-scoring affair between these two countries in the first ever meeting. Velasquez on the wing for El Salvador. No, they'll just possess. Amaya. Little bouncer. Fischer. Plata, tackled away by Ramona Martinez. Clean. Halfway through stoppage time. Well, this result does mean that we are gearing up for a intense coin toss. This is not a phrase you will normally hear, but it will decide who is the final team into the quarterfinals, whether it is Costa Rica or Puerto Rico.
By both teams being tied in every single aspect, 3 points minus 2 and 4 yellow cards, each national team.
Bobadilla made a save on a penalty, and then Fischer was there for the follow-up. It's really tough for keepers when you make that initial save. But all in all, he's got to be pleased with how our team has responded. As I said, Paraguay seemed down and out. All right, we got to change. Ramona Martinez will take her time exiting.
It's Paola Guenes, 32 years old, for the player from Olimpia de Paraguay.
Comes in with about a minute left in this game. Well, it's funny, yesterday we said by the end of this match, we will know the 8 teams in the quarterfinals. That's actually not true. We're gonna have to wait a little while for that coin toss, and then we will know.
Yeah, and it was super interesting because every team was, you know, really clear with how the regulations of the tournament were and knew about the importance of not getting yellow cards or trying to score as much goals as possible for the goal differential. But then Costa Rica and Puerto Rico end up being tied in every single one.
Two goals after the 86th minute for Paraguay. And there's a final whistle. A thrilling match between these two countries. But Paraguay prevails, and they're headed to the quarterfinals with a 3-2 victory over El Salvador.
They made it to this inaugural edition of the W Gold Cup by being 4th in Copa America in 2022. El Salvador has to go out with the head really high, coming in from the prelims, eliminating Guatemala, showing the growth of the Salvadorian soccer throughout the last years. So it's really important that what they did, just try to take the best out of it and just keep working and doing it the best way possible to see if they can make it to the World Cup in 2027, which is the dream for the Central American team.
Well, Jessica Martinez, definitely the player of the match for Paraguay. A hat trick.
A hat trick with 2 penalty kicks and 1 great goal.
Yeah, that finish in stoppage time was...
Can she be any more happy? Enjoy.
Well, Paraguay, again, it seemed like they were going to be eliminated from the quarterfinals in the Gold Cup after Fuentes scored in the 83rd minute to give El Salvador its first lead. And Martinez, of course, there was a penalty, and then sealed the deal with that header to finish the job. Yeah. But El Salvador has to be pleased with this performance.
Pleased and really proud of what they did. They're going back home, yes, and Paraguay is moving to the quarterfinals, going to the airport, but going to California.